breaking news alerts and the hour-by-hour forecast from the Weather Authority. This is Good Morning Cincinnati, live on Local 12.
It is 7:07 now and 68 outside. Turning to man's best friend.
Our local senior care center is turning to dogs like Midas to help patients with problems like dementia. And great results they're seeing thanks to a four-legged friend.
All right, Liz, over to you and some special friends.
I do. I have some great friends here. If you're not familiar with this program, for people with dementia, you may know life can be a bit challenging. It can also be very isolating if you have mental or physical health problems. But a local senior care provider joining us today has a great way to provide some therapy. As you can see, we have a very calm friend here. Joining me now, the executive director of the Kenwood by Senior Star, Tom Rotz. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And you have a friend with you. Let's not ignore the obvious here.
That's right. Yeah, this is Midas. He is our, well, he's King Midas back at the Kenwood, but he is our therapy dog that we use throughout the building, actually, but he pretty much lives in our memory care area.
Now let's talk a little bit about this. I've kind of been familiar with how you've used therapy dogs throughout the years, but this is sort of a newer concept.
It is. Midas was trained the same way most working dogs are, with very specific skill sets, but his basically is just to be very docile, calm, and loving. So he was selected specifically for those traits, and along with helping just our residents be a little more calmer, he's great just to hug and actually bring some life out of some of our residents.
Now, are we allowed to get him to stand up a little bit?
Well, it's early, but we'll try. Can you get up?
I wasn't sure. I'm like, I just felt like he's being left out a little bit.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. And I'm always careful because I know they're kind of trained to behave a certain way. For people not familiar with the Kenwood by Senior Star, just tell us a little bit about your organization, what you do, who you serve, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. The Kenwood is a retirement community. We have independent living apartments as well as assisted living, skilled nursing, and then the memory care. And
so you use the therapy dogs at what level? All levels for all people?
He is used at all levels. Specifically, he's been trained to work with folks with dementia, but he is often seen running around the independent living apartments, assisted living. In fact, one of our skilled residents that was in independent living and went over to skilled to do some rehabilitation specifically asked that he come up and see her. So it was a nice little feeling of home for her.
Now, I know you have different levels of care, so what level can you use the dog, or can you use it in all levels? Or?
All levels, absolutely. Where he's really specifically been trained for is folks with dementia, and again, it's some folks with Alzheimer's sometimes will be agitated because they don't really know where they're at, and he brings a real calming to them. But there's also folks that don't speak, don't really exhibit any sort of outward communication, that open up when he's around. They love to hug him and talk to him, where usually they won't do anything.
Yeah, it is so interesting to see that. I know they're using these now, like PTSD and that, and it's almost like the dog just puts a head on their lap and look at them, and you watch their whole spirit, sort of that agitation just decrease.
Absolutely, and everyone, I'll tell you, the staff love him, the families love him, everybody loves him.
We could use a newsroom, Midas, let me tell you.
That's right. Well, it's really great too, because some of the children of our residents come in and they don't know how to act with a grandparent, and this is a great medium for them to relate to each other with.
Kind of bridge that gap. Okay, we have a full screen. We just want to let people know a little bit more information about some of the things you do, where you are. You're on Kenwood Road. There's a number to call there. You also have a website that people can find out a little bit more about your program, how it works. Are you working only with Midas, or do you have other pets that participate, or how does that work?
Midas is our only dog, but he does a pretty good job. He does a little bit of overtime here and there, but he is our only therapy dog.
That's a lot of work. He's no wonder he's dog tired.
Exactly.
Well, we want to thank you for bringing him in. We know it's early, my friend. We understand. We feel your pain. But he is just so well behaved, and it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for what you do.
Our pleasure.
To serve this community. So many of us are, working with parents as they're aging, and it's comforting to know that you're there.
Well,
we appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
All right, and we're going to be right back.